Alright, let's bring up Fish's portrait. Alright. Where did I put my Twitch music? Alright, Fish, you ready for more fun tonight, buddy? Yeah! Guess I should log into that account, eh? Probably smart. And I'll make sure to open up that channel because I know it's certainly going to ask me to verify it. Ah, there it is. Never fails, right, Merv? Never fails, right, bud? Merv, I'm not giving you any more chicken. You've already gotten tons. Spoiled dog. What do I want to listen to? Oh, Merv. Start like down here. Oh, dang, that's loud. Holy sheep shit. I hate super loud music sometimes. Alright, let's get to work. Where are we at on this portrait? We're about right here. Gotta put that in the shot because it looks so awesome. Super awesome. Oh, I should probably put down my glasses. I could probably see a lot better. Right, Fish? He says, yep. I speak fluent dog portrait. Not a lot of people can do that, just saying. Is that low 180 I had it on? Well, 485, pretty close. So I'm probably about 6 or 7 hours into this portrait so far. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to go back and look at the video footage to see, but I've been at it for definitely a while. Which means that Hasan probably has about 30 more hours worth of work to give me an address. Well, either way, it's still his, even though I may not get it right away, but... So this line here and this line here are going to look a little bit scratchier, as you can see by the angle. Just because I haven't went in and blended that new area yet. But I will, and then it'll look awesome. Somebody moved my footstool I use. It's way too close, so it feels awkward. 1 second. There we go. That's better. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I could see that for sure. I could definitely see that. That's funny. Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, I could see it, but wait till I fill in the rest. Then it'll look better, I promise. That's the Rosenblatt Biography guarantee. Dog portraits, man, they always look terrible until they're done. When they're done, they look fantastic, but until they get to that process or to that position, it's shit. It always looks terrible. But once you get there, it'll start coming to life. Like, probably by the time I fill in the nose and like this half of the head, everybody'll be like, oh, there's a dog there. Unless Phantom of the Opera. But we'll get there. Phantom of the Opera. So many people love that. I don't think I could even sit down to watch it. Like, legit. I don't think I could sit down and watch that show. I don't mind all musicals. I actually thought Hamilton was really well done. I don't know how many other musicals I've seen, witnessed, or looked at, but Hamilton's pretty good. You know, it made history come alive, you know. hair in this area is also scratchy. Like it kind of goes everywhere just on this side of the nose. It's like up and down, left and right. So weird looking at stuff through these glasses all the time, though. Which makes it so weird. Fish is coming along. Very well behaved, aren't you, fish? Gotta talk to your dog portraits or else you feel like a weirdo. Super duper important. I'll be right back in 1 second though. I need a coffee. I thought I had some, but I did not. So I shall be right back. I'm back. Sorry, y'all. For anybody that is watching, I don't think there's a y'all, but there's a couple. So sorry to you. So this little spot right here is just a tad darker. Not a lot, but just enough. Once I go in and blend that area, it'll look a lot better too. This actually looks like his mouth, but it's just black hair at the bottom of his jaw. Oh, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that, buddy. I really do. I try my best for sure. I'll show you a little bit darker. That's actually about 35 degrees. Oh, damn it. About 40 degrees darker in there. There we go. Now we're talking. So this actually looks like he's got a smile, right? See right there? But what it is, it's actually just the bottom of his jaw. And the white, I'll end up scraping out that gray line right at the very bottom. Because it's just little tiny white hairs that you can see through. But without that line there, I would have never put it down. So just gotta fill that in. Might try getting a lot of the dark areas out of the way just to get it done. But it legit looks like he's smiling his ass off though, doesn't it? He's like, I love this place. All of this too, like all of this in between here, that white line, even the top line, it's literally just all little white hairs. But without the gray line, I wouldn't know exactly where they go. So I'll have to go through and I'll just take a razor blade and scrape that out. Remember, wood burnings always look extremely weird until they're like almost done. And then it'll be like, holy shit, that looks just like the dog. And that's what I'm counting on. Wood burning is just all about detail. Actually, it's for a Twitch streamer named Hasan Piker. My wife is a huge fan, absolutely loves the guy. I've actually watched his show a few times, and I enjoy him too. I think he's funny, and I agree with a lot of his views. But I thought it'd be a good way to, start off my Twitch stream by sending a gift out to somebody. I'm hoping he eventually gets it. I've been trying to let him know for, the last few streams. But I think once it actually starts to look like his dog, it'll be a lot easier to obtain. Because he'll look at the picture, like on Twitter, it's probably just a random bullshit post to him. But the second that he actually sees it being completed, or remotely close, he'll be like, holy, that is my dog. It was this dog that sadly passed away from cancer, I believe, a few years ago. I mean, that sucks. Losing a dog is an awful, awful feeling, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Alright. So I'm going to start doing now. I think I'm going to do the nose now, just because I like to get the dark areas out of the way. I'm actually tempted to do that, too. So he's got a really dark patch of fur right here, just on the outside of his lip. Yeah, we'll see what happens. This dog's nose literally looks like a mushroom, like a weird bubbly mushroom. So I'm actually going to go in and darken the nostril portions of it, because then I have to go in lighter afterwards. So I'm going to switch out from my pen, the blade pen. Then I'm going to go over to my heavy duty shader pen, because I'll be coloring larger sections. This is like a 300 grit sanding block. It's already been used like 1,000 times, so it's got not much cribbing in it, but it's actually really good for cleaning the blades. So I just wipe the blade on it. And she makes it oh so shiny. Alright, so 545 is pretty low on the temperature gauge, so let's bump that bad boy up. Let's say try 590. Actually, I'm going to go 600 just for the inside of the nostrils, which won't be a lot, but a little. Like everything around the nose is pretty much black, but it's not black. So it's dark, but it's not crazy dark. And when it comes to dog portraits, people portraits, anything, every variation of color absolutely matters. Super important. So those are pretty black. I'll probably go in afterwards and just make them a little bit more. I'm gonna turn down the heat to about 590. Actually, oh. So right here, where's that line? See, there's one gray line on, you can see it right there, or brown line, I should say. That's actually the sap line within the wood. But it almost coincides exactly where this black line's supposed to go, so it's kind of throwing my eyes off, I won't lie. But actually I think it's right there. It's close, but it isn't exact. And it goes too close to the bottom of this triangle thing. A little bit thicker up top than it is at the bottom. So I'm going to try actually 575. I don't want to go too dark, so then I can't really go back to fix it. It's much easier to make it darker than it is to make it lighter, that's for damn sure. And fish here has a big old nose. So to make the nose, it'll just be like a blend of different colors and variations of black, in the hopes that it all looks good. Trying to save a little bit of room for the highlight on the bottom of the nostril. It'll also look a lot more like a nostril. Once I go in with the razor blade, I'll just do a couple little highlights here and there, and it'll make it jump out at you a little bit. Tricks of the trade. I love coffee. No, there's actually a bunch of different pens. One pen kind of does it all, but you can change the temperature, so guide kind of how hot you want it based on the temperature. I don't have a ton of pens. I got that many. Just these ones here. Actually, this one's a pencil, and these are just scraper tools and carbon tools. So no, it's not one pen. It's actually several that I use. Lots and lots. Lots and lots. Because certain pens are good for certain things, and some are better for another. Which kind of makes it complicating a little bit when you're changing them out often. Or you're changing at the temperature often. And some pens won't even burn good at a certain temperature, I find. Like that one that just fell on my keyboard there, you have to crank that to get it to actually work that well for you, as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure gonna have to go through and scrape out some of this color. It looks a little odd right now for sure. When you're wearing these glasses for a really long time, you kind of forget how small the piece and the section that you're actually burning is because it looks so much bigger in the glasses. Like this thing in my glasses looks like it's about 3 inches long. When reality, in all reality, it's like not even a full inch. It's gonna turn off for a second. I'm just gonna scrape it out with the brick, clean it up a little bit. It's got a little ash on it. See the tip right there? It's got that little black mark, little black blemish. That's the ash. So we want to get that off because we don't want that. Makes it harder to burn with the ash on it. You can actually tell when it's got the ash on it because it just burns different. God, this music is driving me absolutely nuts tonight. I'm pausing this shit for a bit. So who taught you or are you self-taught? 100% helps self-taught. I never even watched videos on it on YouTube. I tried learning like violin and guitar and some other shit. And everything else I watched videos for, but for this I just didn't. I just figured I'd teach myself. So yeah, 100% self-taught. Literally haven't seen one video on how to do it. So I'm probably making some wicked mistakes, I'm sure. Like shit I should be doing that I'm not doing. But no, just self-taught. And this is probably, I've done at least 1,000, I'd say, wood burnings. I have a whole flea market, both walls and something like 6 tables absolutely full of wood burnings that I sell on the weekends. So down here is a little bit lighter than these broader areas. Still dark. It's all going to be dark. But it's just a little bit lighter. It's funny, in the title of the video, I put down it's a portrait of Hasan and his dog Fish. That's who I'm trying to make this for. Hopefully he eventually gets it. And the portrait actually comes in that eye. If you look really close, I can probably show you with this. That image right there, right below the tip, is actually Hasan taking a picture of the dog. And those 3, I'm going to turn that knife off because I'm going to end up fucking burning it and wrecking it. These 3 lights right here in a row are actually his monitors. So he's actually turning around from where he streams to take a picture of the dog, and you see he's got 3 monitors. He may even have forks. There's another light source coming from the bottom of the eye down here. But it's actually him taking the picture of the dog, just like in this one. You can just see that it's a different angle, but it's the same thing. It's just him taking a picture of the dog. So that's why I titled it Hasan, or Fish Piker and Hasan Piker actually taking the picture, because you can see his reflection in the dog's eyes of him taking the photo of it. Which is cool. And not easy to do, I should mention. So all this up here is relatively light. I'm going to fill this out right here. And then at the top of the nose is actually quite light. Like I said, I'm going to go in and do some highlights and stuff, and you'll be able to see the nostrils a lot better. And I'll darken some areas and make it a lot easier to see, but for now, I have to color it somehow. And then also right here, it's really interesting. I've never seen this on a dog before. There's actually like a ring around the nose of light, where it's almost like a whole different tissue or something. And I've never seen that in a dog ever. So I thought it was really cool and I'd mention it. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit because the top of the nose Specifically, this patch here is a lot lighter. And although it's near impossible to match the colors exactly, but every little blemish that you can highlight, I wouldn't even say blemish, but every characteristic of the face that you can highlight is worth it because it makes it look more like their pet. Especially the eyes. The eyes are absolutely 100% the most important part. And I'll go through and I'll blend these colors out so the nose doesn't look so dark light. Oh, you bought the Scrooge McDuck. That's a good one, man. Scrooge McDuck is awesome. I love Scrooge McDuck. Like growing up, my favorite thing to do is rush my ass home and watch DuckTales. It always came on at 4 and 4:30 when I was a kid. Loved it. I don't know what it was, man. And you think that was on for like years, but it was actually only on for like one season. I think there was 1 or 2 seasons of DuckTales and that was it. But they would do like 50 shows a season, cartoons would. Whereas most TV shows back there did like 20. But cartoons were like 50 episodes a season, which is crazy. Like my wife is a huge Sailor Moon nut. She just loves her. And she goes back and she'll watch the old episodes and it's like, oh, episode 64. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why is there so many episodes? But yeah, apparently. But I used to love that show. Remember every time Scrooge McDuck would... Actually, I should be careful talking about Disney too much. I don't like that shit at all. I already had a video, like, pulled because of talking about them too much. So I'll just say the Mr. Duck that swims through coins. Yeah, I know. They lasted like one season, but it seems like they went on for absolutely ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But back then, it's like, they'd bring out new characters like every episode, but you wouldn't even realize it. It's really strange how that works. So right here, this ring that I'm doing right now is actually very, very light in comparison to the rest of the nose. Which is really weird. They don't see it on too many dogs. I haven't anyway. And I've done probably 100 pet portraits. Never seen it before. And then the ring kind of comes up here where it's actually skin, and then it almost breaks out of this area into all the hair. It's almost like the hair broke through the dog's face, almost like, oh, we got it, we're out, run! Like, it's really weird the way it looks. So it's slightly darker at the bottom, and then it just goes to hair all the way up. So increased temperature, probably 590. Like I said, the nose is going to look absolutely crazy when you first start it. Until you fill in all the hair around it, it's going to look stupid. Well, that's one of the things we're doing wood burnings. People always look at them when they're in the beginning stage. Like, I've had so many customers like, oh, are you working on it? Can you send me a picture? I'm like, okay. Be careful what you wish for, because you're going to think it's going to turn out bad, and it won't. Okay, so I'm thinking that's probably as far as I'm going to go on the top of the nose, because it does break out all the fur. And now I'm just going to take some time and blend in the nose a little bit so it doesn't look so odd. So even these areas are meant to be light, and that's why I did them so ridiculously light. That's a clear cut definition that I can change later on, but that way I can identify it. And that part of the nose, so it actually comes down quite sharp here. So you can clearly see. Actually, I'm going to switch out to my other blade, I think. So all these light areas of the nose won't stay that light because clearly that barely even looks like a nose, right? But that's how I identify later on when I'm working on them that it's super light because I don't want to go touching it, but I'll end up blending it a lot darker and then just highlighting it. But that way it shows me where I need to highlight later on. If that makes sense to anybody watching. It makes sense to me. So that's a good thing. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to darken it a little bit, and I'm just going to try to blend it all into one color. And then when I do the highlights, I'm like, oh, there's the nose. You don't even probably see it right now. It probably just looks like a mess. So I'm going to turn the pan down to 575. So I want the lighter areas just to be a little lighter. Not a lot, just a little. But now I can identify them. Do you say upside down it looks like Groot? I don't know if I see that. Maybe? Well, maybe. I guess I can see what you're saying a little bit. Yeah. So like I said, right now I'm just going in and blending the colors. I'm actually going to color this in. But I'm also going to be scraping this nostril out and scraping around the other one. Because it's meant to be dark. But there's a couple small light strokes in it. Where you can see like the cleft of the dog's nose. I won't lie, my razor blade is absolutely my best friend when it comes to dog portraits. And you'll see why when I get to it. I'll turn this up a little bit just to blend out the top of that nose. He does have a big old snoot on him, though, doesn't he? Boop snoot. I probably shouldn't burn that in as dark. I'm going to scrape that out now for it so I remember. Like I said, there's that ring that goes around the nose and I kind of burn into it a little bit. I was planning on making it darker, but not that dark. It's a very visible light ring. Razor blade, where are you? It is, I don't know if I have the picture. There it is. That's the dog. Oh, yeah. Hey. It only looks like a Labrador Beagle. I'll leave that there actually while I look for my razor blade because I need time anyway. So it works out. Razor blade, where'd I put you, you son of a bitch? I'm forever losing razor blades. I bet you I've lost in my house like 40 razor blades. At least. So you see this line? Where's that line over the nose? Right here. Got that ring of light. You can see it over here that I'm working on it. Right? Now, like I said, I'm going to go in and do a bunch of highlights so it'll look a lot better. But I overburned it right up against this ledge. So I should have been there at least a little bit. So I'm going to go through and fix it now. See, razor blade, best friend. Barely even tell I botched it. Right? 8. Actually, it should be a little bit thicker here, though. Not too much. Just a smidge. So I'm basically just taking off one very small layer of the burn that I put on it. The harder I push, the more layers I'll pull. I mean, piss on it. I already got the blade in my hand. Might as well, right? And like I said, through here, this nostril, there's like a zigzag thing going on. very lightly. I still want it to be dark, but I don't want it to be crazy dark. And right here it's even a little bit lighter. All details matter. I almost feel like that should be darker. I feel like I'm doing it too light. Actually, no, I know what it is. Hold on. I guess I'm going to burn over it and probably have to scrape it again. It's not that it's too light necessarily. It's just that it's too... Oh, my pen. Frickin' thing. It always slides down. I feel like I should glue it, but I don't want to glue it because I don't want to have to deal with burnt glue smell. Just going to blend it better because I feel like I didn't blend it well enough up top, and it's just making it look foolish, so the highlights aren't really doing anything that they should be doing. Like it shouldn't look like two pieces of skin on the nose. That's why it's really important that I go through and darken it, but also smooth it over so it looks like it's all one piece. Just made the whole thing look way too choppy. Because the whole nose is meant to be dark, just not ridiculously dark. He does have a big ass honker on him though. Big old nose on the dog. Ain't that right, dog? Big old nose on you. He agrees, for the record. So I'm going to try to go through and highlight a bunch of it because I feel like the overall is too dark. So there's some areas that definitely need some work just to highlight it. I feel like whenever I hold a razor blade, I'm holding like the bow of my violin. Because changing the chord is like literally like this much of a difference. And if I'm scraping, I have to hold it as flat as I can so it's as clean as possible. But I'm literally holding it like a millimeter off the actual backside of the blade too. And by the way, this nose won't look so weird when he has fur around his face. Just looks really strange right now because it's just sitting there all by itself, like in the middle of an ocean. I'll end up going back and touching it up afterwards too. I keep trying to think of how I can make it so that Hasan knows I'm trying to make this for him. I'm even gonna think about making a TikTok video, being like, "Dude, Hasan, I made this for you. Give me an address so I can mail it to you." Just something, just that way he actually gets it, because he's the only one that deserves it. Okay, I'll be back in one sec. I gotta go pee. The nose looks so weird. That's funny. But I promise you, when he has hair around it, it's not gonna look so what the fuck. Okay, we're back. I'm back. Sorry about that. So I'm actually going to start working around the nose so it doesn't look so damn awkward just sitting there floating. And because it's so dark, it just looks weird, right? Because it's such a dark nose and there's nothing around it, so it's hard with contrast to figure out exactly what I'm going to do to um, make it look like it's supposed to be there. But once I put in the hair, the nose should exist. And all peace and harmony will come to the land of fish. That's the dog's name, by the way. Fish. See, this is the pen I was talking about earlier. I have to heat this son of a bitch up to 1,000,000, and then it just goes solid black or it makes a bunch of burn marks. But it's good for shading and it's good for smoothing out. So if I were to go really low temperature all over all this, it would just smooth out the color. But it makes a lot of burn marks because it's got a rounded bottom, which isn't really beneficial for me. So I'm going to go back to this blade. This is the one I used to make hair on the dog. That bit you. Good one. Good one, Art. So this one going all the way around the nose, it's kind of like a sporadic burn. So I'm actually going to put it high at like 590. Just do a bunch of like, I guess I should turn it on. So I'm going to put it on 590 and I'm just going to burn just little dashes all the way around it because it's kind of like a blended color between light and dark. I'm not going to do it as thick as that hair because I'll be filling it in with that hair afterwards. But it's like a merge of dark and light, which is kind of cool looking. I keep thinking it's really windy outside, so I just got this new burner Friday of last week. And by the way, it's spectacular. But I keep thinking that it's windy out, but it's actually the fan that's built into it. So for the first week, I kept looking out the window being like, holy shit, is it ever windy out there? And it wasn't. It was just regular old fan. So I want these dashes to be relatively dark because like I said, I'll be going over them just like this up here, but down here to fill it out. So I want them to be dark. Now there's a couple areas like between here and the where it curls out here. Is all relatively dark through here with a little bit of light, so I have to thicken it a bit. So Ryan, where are you located, bud, if you're still watching? You're in Hastings. Me too. So I'm actually in Trenton. Have you heard of the Boo Tour yet? in Trenton, where all the places like decorate their houses for Halloween and stuff. I don't know if you got any kids, but my neighbor actually has a Halloween walkthrough where you take the family and physically walk through like a haunted backyard. It's actually pretty cool if you're in the Trenton area before Halloween. He'll be open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday this week. And I'm not gonna lie, I jump out and scare people. It's fun. This is his second year doing it. He's actually been raising money for the food bank and stuff, which is great. We're doing pretty good. Last I checked, we were up like $200 and something. 200. Is it 204 or 279? Maybe 279 we're up to, plus a whole bunch of food. Yeah, Trenton's not very big. But we make up for it in coolness. I mean, the haunted house is cool, but I don't know if I'd drive from Hastings to see it. That'd be a long drive. So Fish has actually got a bunch of dark hairs. All down at the bottom here. With dogs, it's kind of hard to differentiate, especially around the nose, which is hair and which is skin. But I'm pretty confident that this is a hair area. I gotta remember to maintain that very thin line between the bottom of his mouth and nose to his jawline, so I can leave those thin little white hairs alone. The only problem I'm having with this new knife is, or new burner, is that it's really difficult for me to achieve black in a small area. With my other burner, I had no problems with it. But with this burner, I haven't found the right temperature to get black in a small crevice. Which it doesn't sound like that would be such a big problem, but it's actually a ginormous problem. Like with the eyes, trying to achieve black and not just dark brown. Like for example, right here, that should be black, not dark brown. Trying to get that without burning every damn thing else is not easy. Ugh, nightmares. Still looks good though. But this burner is absolutely incredible for maintaining color. That's what I do love about it. It's just great for that. And especially with how fast I'm burning, you ask anybody that's got like a regular wood burner or a razor tip burner even, to burn as fast as I am getting constant dark lines is not an easy task. Yeah, I don't know. Some people go like this. I'm only at 560 degrees out of this. This will go up to 800. Like literally, I could turn this so hot that after probably about 5 minutes, I could cut this board literally in half with this knife. But it's like, why? Even just turning it up as high as I can doesn't guarantee that you're going to get black lines. Like, it just doesn't. I'll show you an example. So watch. I'm going to turn this up to 665, so it's still not even close to 800. Look at that. If I turn this up to 800, it's literally a lightsaber in my hand. If I touch the board, it'll turn to fire. No joke, literally fire. See? As soon as I touch it, instant flames. That's how hot this thing gets. So I can't use it at 800. I would literally light my damn self on fire with this knife. And it was kind of cool though how I said it would turn to flames, and then it did. See? I wasn't guessing. And look, I didn't even touch that blade. You seen a flicker of fire. Look how deep. Oh, it's over here. Sorry. Look how deep that line goes. That was literally going. That's it. Just. That's all. Just. And it literally made a crater. Which you can't notice, which is fine. Burn over it. It's like it was meant to be, right? But yeah, but that's how hot it goes. It's absolutely insane how hot this thing can go. Like I actually did a unboxing video of it on my YouTube, and I cut a piece of wood in half. Just what a day. What time is it? 9:30. I might get off for the night. I have to work in the morning. I don't get a lot of free hours. I usually wood burn in the mornings for my custom orders. I'm working on these at nighttime for Twitch and streaming, and then in the mornings I get up and I work on custom orders. Then I work all day, and then on the weekends I sell my wood burnings at the flea market. However, after Monday of next week, usually I scare kids after the flea markets on Saturday, Sunday. For the Halloween thing, but Halloween's going to be over on Monday, so I probably won't be scaring any children then, because it'll all be over on Tuesday, so that's great. But for now, I'm going to disconnect. I'm actually quite tired. Yeah, there's fish so far. It's getting there. Looks a little weird. Kind of looks like a deer, right? Especially with the big old nose. But like I said, once I draw that out and you actually see fur, it'll make perfect sense. It just always looks really, really weird until I get to that point. But yeah, I think I'm going to be off for now. I'm actually pretty tired. So I will talk to everybody tomorrow. Ryan, thank you very much for tuning in. I usually stream around 7:30 at night, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night I won't be streaming though, because I literally get off of work and then I go over to Scare Kids on Friday. Might be streaming Saturday and Sunday. If I do stream on Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be like an hour, hour and a half before I gotta go scare kids. But next weekend I usually stream like 5 till 10 or something like that. So alright man, yeah, for sure. Feel free to stop in anytime and check it out. You can also follow us on Twitch, Instagram, Reddit, everything. But thanks for watching, bud. You guys have yourself a great night. Bye now.